The mindset of successful people. The truth about success. Let me ask you something straight from the heart. Have you ever looked at someone wildly successful and thought, they must have something I don't? Maybe it's talent. Maybe it's timing. Maybe they were born into the right family, right country, right circle. We've all been there, believing that success is reserved for the chosen few, that it's a VIP section we don't have a pass for. But let me shatter that lie right now. Success isn't for the lucky. Success is for the ready. It's not a privilege. It's a pattern. And the pattern is written in the way successful people think. Because the one thing that separates the people who try from the people who triumph isn't money, isn't intelligence, isn't even an opportunity. It's the mindset. Your mindset is your internal operating system. It's the story you tell yourself when no one's listening. It's the belief you hold when everything falls apart. It's what keeps you going when the applause stops and the pain starts. Psychologist Dr. Carol Dweck, the woman who shook the world with her research on the growth mindset, discovered something incredible. People who believe they can grow actually do. They become smarter, stronger, more successful. Not because they're better, but because they believe they can get better. Your mindset can transform failure into fuel. It can turn rejection into redirection. It can flip every no into a louder next, and science backs it all up. We now know that the brain is neuroplastic, which means it's constantly rewiring itself based on what you believe, what you do, and what you focus on. Every time you choose to keep going, your brain adapts. It grows stronger, more creative, more relentless. So hear me loud and clear. You are not stuck with the mindset you have today. You are not defined by your past, your pain, or your present. You have the power, right now, to reprogram your mind for success. Because success isn't about what you have. It's about what you believe. It's not a destination, it's a decision. A decision to believe that you are capable, worthy, and built for more. That decision, that belief, that mindset, it's where your entire journey begins. So if you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. It's time to stop playing small. It's time to silence the doubt. It's time to rise into the mindset that was always meant for you. Because the truth is, success doesn't belong to the elite. It belongs to the relentless. And the relentless start with a mindset. Real lives, real proof. We've talked about mindset as the foundation of success. But now, let me show you what it looks like. In the real world, in real people, who came from real adversity. Because sometimes we don't need more theories. We need evidence that the impossible is possible. Let's start with a 17-year-old Syrian girl named Yusra Mardini. She wasn't born into luxury. She was born into war. One night, Yusra and her sister fled their home, boarded a dangerously overcrowded boat, and attempted to cross the Aegean Sea to escape to safety. Halfway across, the boat's engine failed. in the middle of the night, in open water, surrounded by strangers and panic. What did Yusra do? She jumped in. She tied a rope to her body and swam for 3 hours, pushing that boat through freezing waves, saving the lives of 18 people. Fast forward 2 years later, she walked into the Olympic arena, not as a victim, but as a competitor. She didn't just survive, she transformed. That's the mindset. Now let's talk about Hamdi Ulukaya, a Turkish immigrant who came to America with barely any English and zero connections. He stumbled across an abandoned yogurt plant and decided to buy it, against all odds. No investors. No experience. Just a vision. Everyone thought he was crazy. Until Chobani became the #1 Greek yogurt brand in America, a billion-dollar empire. But here's the real success. Hamdi shared 10% of company equity with his employees. He hired refugees. He built schools. His mindset wasn't just about winning. It was about lifting others as he climbed. Then there's Alec Weck. Born in South Sudan, forced to flee at 14 during a brutal civil war. She arrived in London as a refugee, dark-skinned, African, unconventional by fashion standards. She didn't conform. She owned her identity. And in doing so, she changed the face of fashion. She became a global supermodel, a humanitarian, and a voice for underrepresented women around the world. She turned trauma into triumph. And don't forget Seelan Nayagam, a war survivor from Sri Lanka who fled unimaginable violence. He rebuilt his life in Australia, worked his way up in the tech industry, and today, he leads DXC technology across Asia Pacific, the Middle East, and Africa. His mission? Not just profits. Purpose. Creating space for others who society often overlooks. What do these people have in common? Not perfect conditions. Not flawless journeys. But a mindset that refused to surrender. Each of them had every excuse to quit, but instead they chose to rise. That's not just inspiration, that's a roadmap. And it proves something powerful. You don't need a perfect past to build an unstoppable future. You need a mindset that says, I will not be defined by what tried to break me. And if they could do it, so can you. The psychology behind their success. So now you're probably thinking, how do they do it? How do people like Yusra, Hamdi, Alec, and Seelan rise when everything is against them? It's not just luck. It's not even just resilience. It's psychology. It's how they think. It's what science calls the success mindset. Let's break it down. First, there's grit, a concept developed by psychologist Angela Duckworth. She studied elite performers, military cadets, entrepreneurs, students, and discovered something unexpected. The most successful weren't the smartest, richest, or most talented. They were the grittiest, the ones who kept going long after others gave up. Grit is passion fueled by persistence. It's falling 7 times and standing up 8. And it's not something you're born with. It's something you train. Then there's optimism, but not naive positivity. We're talking about the science-backed optimism studied by Dr. Martin Seligman, the father of positive psychology. He found that successful people view setbacks differently. They don't see failure as permanent. Instead of saying, I failed because I'm not good enough, they say, this didn't work yet. That word, yet, is powerful. It comes from the growth mindset discovered by Dr. Carol Dweck at Stanford University. Her research shows that people who believe they can improve actually do. Because when you see challenges as opportunities, your brain responds. And that brings us to one of the most incredible discoveries in neuroscience: neuroplasticity. Your brain isn't fixed. It's adaptable. It's always changing based on what you believe and practice. Every time you push through a fear, face a challenge, or learn something new, your brain rewires itself, becoming stronger, faster, smarter. But mindset doesn't stop at belief. It includes strategy. Dr. Patricia Chen discovered the strategic mindset, where successful people ask themselves empowering questions like, how can I improve? What can I do differently next time? What is this situation trying to teach me? It's not about working harder. It's about thinking smarter. And finally, there's the state of flow, researched by Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi. It's that feeling when you're fully immersed, completely focused, and your best self shows up without force. Athletes, artists, and high achievers all access this state regularly. It's not accidental. It's a byproduct of being deeply aligned with your purpose and fully present in your work. So here's the truth. There's no mystery behind high performance. There's a mindset. There's psychology. There's proven science. And it's available to anyone, not just Olympians or billionaires. Not one of the people we talked about was born with superpowers. They just learned to master their mind. They learned how to turn pain into power and fear into focus. And now you know the blueprint. So the question isn't, do I have what it takes? The question is, am I willing to train my mind like they did? Because that is where your power lives. How to build that mindset in your own life. You've seen the power of mindset. You've heard the stories. You've learned psychology. But here's the part that matters most. How do you build that kind of mindset? Because this isn't about admiring greatness from a distance. This is about activating it in yourself, right here, right now. Let me say this loud and clear. The mindset that changed Yusra's life, built Chobani, redefined beauty, and turned trauma into triumph. That mindset is not locked behind talent, money, or status. It's built through daily choices, small, consistent, powerful choices. Let's break it down. Embrace challenges. Don't avoid them. Most people run from hard things, but successful people, they run toward them. They see resistance as evidence that growth is near. Every challenge is a training ground. Every problem is a puzzle that can make you sharper, tougher, better. When life gets hard, instead of asking, why me? Start asking, what's this building in me? 2. Reframe. Failure as feedback. Failure doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're becoming. The world's top performers aren't the ones who failed the least. They're the ones who learned the most from their failures. So the next time something doesn't go as planned, don't retreat. Reflect. Adjust. Repeat. Failure is not the end. It's the edge of your next breakthrough. 3. Upgrade your inner voice. What you say to yourself becomes your reality. Are you building yourself up or breaking yourself down? Speak with intention. Trade "I can't" for "I'm learning." Replace "this is too hard" with "this is stretching me." Self-talk isn't fluff. It's fuel. Speak like your future depends on it. Because it does. 4. Visualize your future vividly. Your brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. Visualization isn't daydreaming. It's mental conditioning. Top athletes do it. Entrepreneurs do it. Visionaries live by it. Close your eyes and see yourself succeeding. Feel it. Believe it. Then act from that vision. 5. Build habits. Not hype. Motivation is great, but habits build empires. Start small. Make it daily. One new habit, like journaling, reading, meditating, or working out, can shift your identity. You don't need to do everything. Just start with one thing. Progress is momentum, and momentum is magnetic. 6. Protect your environment. Mindset is contagious. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, uplift you, and believe in what you're becoming. Distance yourself from energy that drains you. Curate your circle like your future depends on it, because it does. Here's the truth. You don't rise to the level of your dreams. You rise to the level of your mindset. Mindset is a decision, not a destiny. It's not about what's in your way. It's about what's inside you. And inside you is everything you need. Let's go build it. The mindset shift begins with you. This is the moment. You've seen the stories. You've heard the science. You've felt the truth in your bones. Now it all comes down to one thing. What are you going to do about it? Because this isn't just another motivational talk. This is a mirror. And when you look into that mirror right now, I want you to ask yourself, am I thinking like the person I want to become? Because here's what I know. You were not born to be average. You were not built to play small. There is something extraordinary inside you, and the only thing standing between where you are and where you're meant to be is your mindset. Let me remind you, the people who've made it didn't start perfect. They started scared. They started broke. They started broken, but they started. Yusra started in a sinking boat. Hamdi started with a dream and a dairy plant. Alex started as a refugee, feeling invisible in a world that didn't see her beauty. Seelan started in survival mode, running from a war zone, but every one of them made a decision. Not to be defined by their pain, not to surrender to circumstance, not to wait for someone else to hand them a future. They decided, my story doesn't end here, and now it's your turn. Because let me tell you the most important truth of all. You don't need to wait for permission. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to decide, I'm ready to think differently. I'm ready to believe in myself fully. And I'm ready to take the first step, even if it's small, even if it's messy, even if it's terrifying. Because success doesn't belong to the lucky. It belongs to the intentional. The ones who show up. The ones who choose growth over comfort, purpose over fear, and possibility over limitation. This world will tell you to be realistic. But let me ask you, what has realistic ever done for your dreams? The world doesn't need more people playing it safe. The world needs you, with a fire in your eyes and a mindset that refuses to give up. So let this be the day you stop shrinking. Let this be the day you stop waiting. Let this be the day you choose the most powerful words you'll ever say. My journey begins with me. Because of your future? It's not written by your past. It's not owned by your pain. It's created by your mindset. And the pen is in your hands. Now go write a story worth living.